This is Tiffany, and I am here to share with you our new Rockstar bundle. So, this is a straight out of camera image. I'm not going to mess around with taking the scrunchie off of her hand or any of her. I am just going to show you what is included in our bundle. So, yes, I would take the wrinkles out and do other things, but bear with me here. So in our bundle, we have a variety of brushes and overlays. So I'm just going to go to File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to show you a little of what we have. So overlays, we have different crowds that you can put in, and we'll look at that on the next photo. Disco balls, and I think I am going to include a disco ball on this one. I think I did in my original as well. So I had purchased like a pink, peachish, you can see it back over here, disco ball, and then a couple other, but disco balls are really expensive. So that is why this is incredible that we can just do an overlay, because I was fortunate and found my disco balls. This one here was a TJ Maxx find for like $16.99. I think this was a $5. This is like actually a soft plushy thing. And you can actually see the tag hanging off of this one because I was lazy and threw them down and didn't take the tags off. But that was also a TJ Maxx find. But these big ones are like $90. Not only are they expensive, but you also then have to store them. So that is why I love this. So I've just placed it in here. I put a layer mask on it, and I'm going to grab a black brush, and I'm just going to take this off. And then, I mean, it's completely up to you on the size. I'm going to go back to it and hit Command T to transform it. And I think I'm going to just bring my size down, and I'm going to turn it a little bit so that it's kind of out of the picture. And then I'm going to flatten this down. And we have to remember, anytime you put something in a photo, you want to add some natural shadows in there. So if you look, the shadow of this ball is here. I have a light over here and I have a light over here. So I am just going to add a little bit of a shadow here and over here. Okay, oops, sorry about that. I have to turn off my phone. Just to ground these a little bit. So if you want, you can also play, I don't have it on its own layer, or I flattened it, but I'm going to keep this as normal, but when I put this in, I can show you, I can add another one. I can do layer, new layer, and then File, Place Embedded, and I can just choose these little ones. I'm not going to leave them, but you can play with the blending modes. So that's how I changed the color actually in my original image. I think I put it on overlay and made it almost like a purple. So if you don't like the look, you can always play with the blending mode. Okay, so if I went back to these and hit Command T to transform them, and I wanted it to look like there were hanging disco balls, and then I could change it to whatever I wanted. Okay, so that if it doesn't look real or it doesn't look the way you want it, my first suggestion would always be to play with the blending modes. Okay, but I don't want those there. So I'm going to leave this one here. And I'm going to show you what else we have. So I am going to do layer, new layer, and I'm going to see what else we can add into here. So I'm going to File and Place Embedded, and I've shown you the different disco balls that we offer. And now I am going to go to the next one, which is Fire. So if you are doing, like, we are huge Taylor Swift fans here. So if you were doing like a reputation shoot, maybe you want to make the guitar on fire, whatever. I'm not going to use these because this is absolutely not reputation. But I might add some fog. We'll see. This drop had kind of like a look of fog on it. I'm going to just hit place here. All right, this one's really, really pretty. Going to just hit Command T and move it down. And then here I'm going to put this on screen and give my computer a chance to catch up here. Putting it on screen and hit Command T, and you can even kind of pull that up a little bit. And if you want, you can drop the opacity, whatever you want. So that's one example of fog. I can show you some of the other ones we have. We have really pretty pink and blue, which is perfect for this drop. We've got all different kinds of fog that you can add. I am not going to add fog to this one. I may to the next one. So this one's cool if your subject was standing in the center. So just a bunch of different options. Then we have really fun confetti, especially a lot of these drops. And if you know Taylor Swift, have been to one of her concerts, we have, and we're actually going to another one in November. We loved it so much. This is totally her. Fun confetti. So I love this. Just going to place this over the top here, and you can hit enter. And then add a layer mask and mask it off of your subject, because obviously you want your focus to be on the subject. Ooh, I probably want to grab a brush and not burn this. So you could take it off however you wanted so that it wasn't so distracting. You can do layer, new adjustment layer, and go to hue and saturation, and you can play. And if you look and just watch the confetti, because if you hit option and click, it'll connect to this just to your confetti. So you can turn your confetti any color you want. You can drop the saturation so that your confetti is more of like a silver color. It's completely up to you. Here it's almost more of like a gold color. So there's so much that you can do with these overlays. I'm going to go back to File, Place Embedded again. That for me, excuse me, is not something that I want in this photo, but especially with some of the amazing drops that are out there, a lot of them have confetti, so that would be a really good one to add to that. Then we also have like different types of glitter, which is really cool because in one of mine I had Kinley blowing glitter, and I just used this. I actually think I used a glitter overlay from one of our other overlays, or from our glitter package, but there's all different kinds of glitter that you can use. There was a really fun one that I actually added into one of my images. I think it was this. And if you turn this to screen, so it doesn't look good on this image, but I had it on a different one where she was standing and it looked really cool. And then I could just take it off of her. So there's all kinds of confetti and glitter overlays. And we also have, I'm just going to do layer, new layer, a myriad of really cool glitter brushes. So you can, there's a ton of them. So I'm just using my bracket key to make this a little bit larger, but you can add in sparkle. I'm just going to hit Command Z to take that off. Anywhere you want. We have all kinds of different glitter brushes. And I'm sorry I missed this, but we also have a ton of different fog brushes as well. So if you don't like our fog overlays, you can come on in here and obviously probably not in this color, but choose your color and add in glitter or fog to your image. So I may come back and add in some glitter, but over my disco balls, we will see. I might also use a different overlay we have. So I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded again, now that you see all the different glitters that we have, and I am going to go to guitars. So we have guitars, lasers, spotlights, and stage lights. So there are all kinds of different guitars in different colors, on stands, out of stands. You can try to make it look like, you know, your subject is holding a guitar and then place it in post here in Photoshop. Totally up to you. So I can just show you what one of these looks like. I'm going to find one in a stand. Here we go, a pink one because it matches. And we can place this back here. We don't really have room for it here. And then again, it's important that if you don't like the way it looks, you can look at the different blending modes. And you also need to remember to add in burning, that you need to ground it. So I don't want a guitar in this. They're just there in case you would like them. I'm going to go to place embedded and go back to my overlays again. And these laser beams are so fun. So I've added these onto the microphones. I've added them in the background. I've added them to the disco balls. But there is one that brings me right back to my 6th grade picture. Here it is. This overlay, if I am 42, so if you are anywhere near my age, you should remember this backdrop. This is what it reminds me. You are my people if you know what I'm talking about here. So let me hit enter here and then put this on screen mode. So what you can do is you can select your subject and put this behind your subject, or you can simply place it and then add a layer mask and, excuse me, take it off of your subject. Or off of anywhere that you don't want it. So I want this to look more like it's kind of in the background. So I am going to take it off of my subject. So you can do it like this, or I can take that off and I'm going to flatten this down. I'm going to hit Command J and then hit select and subject. And this doesn't have to be a perfect selection, but it needs to be a little bit better than that. So I'm just going to grab this. That's perfect, good enough. It's gonna go all the way down, but whatever. All right, I'm going to hit Command J to put her on her own layer, and then go below that layer, File, Place Embedded, and go back to, I gotta find it. See all the fun lasers that we have? And I'm going to place that behind her. And then I'm going to put that on screen mode and hit enter. So I love this. I think it's really fun, and I'm going to leave that. But again, if you don't like how bright it is, you can bring it down. You can do layer, new adjustment layer, and go to hue and saturation. And if you don't want it to be colored, you can, well, that's going to do the whole back, so you can't do that. Hold on. I need to connect it. Hit Option and connect it to the laser lights. You can just make them super saturated or no saturation at all. You can change the color to any color you want. So I am actually going to drop the saturation down, even though it matched what we had. And I'm going to leave it at this. Okay, so now we have these fun little lasers in the back. They're kind of shining off over here. I am going to go to the laser lights and put a mask on it and grab my brush. And I don't like the way it looks here. So I'm going to take it off of there a little bit. And I'm going to hit Command Z there. I'm just looking here. I'm going to leave it and I'm going to add in something else. Okay. I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded. I'm just looking at other different laser I'm not going to use any of these. I'm going to go back to my overlays. And then we have different spotlights. So again, these are all that you would put on screen mode. I can show you. I like this one because it has the little glitter pieces in it. And we're still behind my subject here. And if I put this on screen, you can see it just adds, I'm going to turn this off and on for you, a little bit of light behind our subject. So take it or leave it. It's totally up to you. I'll leave it. I'm going to go back up to my top layer, File, Place Embedded. So we have spotlights, and last but not least, we have different stage lights. So these are all different stage lights that you can kind of, like we just looked at, but different colors. And again, putting them on screen or different blending modes can help you with that. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to flatten this down and hit Command J. And then I'm going to go to our brushes. So I am going to, we have lasers in here as well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick this color here, and then I'm going to go back to my brush, and I'm just going to add some additional little flares where the lasers are hitting the disco balls. Make that one smaller. And I'm just using my arrow keys to turn. Okay. If I wanted to put a little flare on her microphone, I could. I'm going to put one right here too. So just that little extra sparkle. There's all kinds of them. We have all kinds of little sparkles. If I wanted to add additional little sparkles in the back where they meet to give us even more, I can do that. So there's just a lot of really cool, fun things. I'm just going to drop the opacity of those a little bit that you can do with this bundle. So I am, I'll grab a screenshot of this. So this was the before, and again, there's no editing on her at all. And here's the after. So it's just fun, the things that it can add to your picture to really make it over the top. So here's another one. Again, I would take out the wrinkles. There's been zero editing at all. This drop actually has some of those stage lights coming down, but if you wanted to add more, you could. I am going to add in Place Embedded. Here would be a good one where you could add in a crowd. It even almost looks as if she's looking down at a crowd. So people that are cheering for your subject. When I tell you, my daughter, she sometimes gets a little irritated with me. And if you have children and are shooting them frequently, you probably are also familiar with this. But this one, there was no bribery. There was nothing. So you can add in kind of like a little crowd if you want. And it's completely, I'm just going to leave it on normal. Completely up to you. Again, I am going to do layer, new, and layer. And I am going to add some, I'm going to grab, hold on a second. First, I'm going to pick a color in here. And I'm going to put, I'm just going to keep this flare. I'm going to put it right here on her microphone. And hit Command Z. You can barely see it, so I'm not going to put that on her microphone. I am going to take a look at some of the other brushes that we have. There's just all kinds of lasers and glitter, spotlights. So I am going to use one of these spotlights. So I'm going to use my bracket key to make it really large, and I'm just going to put that right up there. Nope, move it up further. So that's a spotlight coming down. I don't really love the way it looks, so I'm not going to leave it. There's all kinds, little spotlights, all different kinds of lasers that you can add in. There is fire. So again, if you were doing reputation and wanted to add in some fire, again, the fog. So maybe I'm going to try to add in some fog. Yeah, I don't love that either. There's a little bit of fog in the background here, so this kind of matches it. Sorry, I'll zoom in on that. So maybe just I'm adding in here a little more. So I need to go to this and grab a brush, and I'm gonna put it down. Nope, that's too much. And just work on here. That might not work either. Blending that in. Yeah, I don't love the way that one looks either. So it's just something that you need to play with. So picking, here's some more fog if you wanted to add in little fog. I'm only at 12%. So I could add in fog this way. Whether you want to change the color, again, you would just come to here, hit OK, and you could do some darker fog. Completely up to you. This is the one I was going to look for, was the glitter. I'm going to grab this color and go back to my brush and add in some glitter here. So, and then obviously you would need to grab a black brush and take that off of your subject. So this picture looks like a complete mess. I just wanted to show you what exactly you could do and what was offered in our bundle. So I hope that this helps you. I hope you see how much you can add to your photos with this package. And as always, if you have questions, you just let us know. All right. Thanks, everyone.